just a different, something different.
She's cute.
Make sure you practice all different lengths of halt. Long ones, short ones, and
Kid,
correct
yeah.
her if she says, I don't want to be here.
kid would have loved to have a tiny thing like that.
We don't want
Yeah.
her to think she can call the shots.
I remember when I was test stage, I was at this lesson
Yeah.
bar. And they
That one looked like she was planning to stay.
old, but
Once
giant
she's planning to
big
stay, then she can
Well, they
go.
probably weren't that big, but
Well, when
I
you're
had to
little.
get a bucket
Yeah.
to put my saddle on. They wouldn't help me.
And you want your rein as light as it can be.
Go grab a bucket.
Kind of
Were they
give her
mean?
space
They
to
were
move
not
into.
very nice.
Where did you ride? Locally?
Flora-Lee Farm
Oh,
with Kathy Adams.
oh boy.
Oh yeah,
Oh wow.
I rode with her for years.
Mm. I rode with Debbie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I never rode with her, but I've heard
She's
a lot about
a
her.
lot
She
better.
kind of looks like, other than
Yeah.
sightseeing, she doesn't care.
But not as a kid. I don't think she. Well, she would do kids, but.
And what you're doing is
Talk
called
to her.
ground driving when you
Yeah.
follow them around.
Yeah.
With Kathy
Long
Adams was
lining,
her
working on the
when
circle.
She moved to
Yeah, I
Lake
do that too
Willow,
with her.
and then to
She
the
does that too?
Meadow,
Yeah.
Okay,
and then I
good.
started riding
I didn't know if it
here.
would work with that
So
surf
it's a
single
lot
or
more
not, but
fun.
I afraid it might
And she was
twist around her.
she was getting mean to me.
Oh, the only thing I
And you can pick the speed. You can walk slower. You can walk faster. Just anything you can think of to ask her for more work.
And it's just
She
freaking like
screamed.
That's a good girl.
not well done either.
Get
Like,
off and go save the barn.
oh my god.
Particularly
Little
since we
8-year-old
assume
me.
she kind of knows what we're doing, it's good to test her. And eating grass isn't one of them.
But she did teach
She
me
can't
how to
believe
stay
there's
on.
grass out here she can't
With
just
sticky
have.
butt
She's
now.
not
Take
allowed
what
to
you
have
can.
grass.
Leave
I
the
can
rest.
tell.
Yeah.
But she's not going to tell us that.
Well, there's
Most of her
really
type are
didn't.
not allowed to have grass.
I had a girl charging me on at one time.
Old ponies and grass don't go together.
She would say, "Come." She wanted her to go faster. Come.
Okay.
Like, all right.
That nice brisk
But
little
I
walk.
ride with Jeannie now. Jeannie Mattioni at Glen Air.
I don't know who that is.
I like her a lot. She's
Glen Air's a beautiful farm.
oh yeah.
That was where Jason was.
Yep. And Allison's still there, his
Okay.
wife.
I haven't been there in years. One of my friends from a million lifetimes ago retired her Arabs there.
Oh yeah.
Do you know?
No, I don't.
A
It was,
gray and a bay. This was a long time ago. Sarah and Percy.
well, their horses never leave. Once they're there forever.
Yeah, no, they died there.
Yeah.
Well,
She can go over the poles
no,
too.
Percy died. Sarah was a little.
If she doesn't want to, all the
I think
more
she
reason to
wants
work
be dead
at
right
it.
now, though.
That's a good girl.
They were on the hunter circuit, those Arabs, back in the day.
She
when
says,
the
I might
Arabs
just
were
go
on the hunter
around.
circuit. They had
So
their
bring her
own-
around, make her do it
Aw.
again. I don't want to think that she's allowed to pick what she does. She kind of did the first one nicely, and then she went,
And
nah,
then
never
the
mind.
time we were here,
So
Rose,
make her go around,
she
do it
really
again.
Oh, I
did
know
too.
Rose. Yeah, no, Rose is
We don't want to let her
If you ever
think
want
that
to set up a lesson here,
she gets
let
to
me
pick.
know.
with Rose.
Yeah. She's been out. She got her hip replaced and she's having a hard time.
She did.
Yeah.
That's usually a pretty easy surgery.
Yeah. And she's
She's a fit old bird.
That was
Yeah.
good. She didn't
She's
answer,
been
you
out
put your
for
body
like
into it, and she
years.
went, oh, hello.
I'm a little
And you can
worried.
let those drag behind you.
But I've been
Just don't
reaching
wrap
out
your
to
legs
her.
up in them.
Has she been responding?
But they're not buckled
Yeah.
together,
okay.
so it's
She
not a
just says
problem.
she can't stand on it too long.
So go back through the ground poles,
But
Where'd she have
make
it
a
done?
point of catching the
I
middle
don't
of
know.
each one,
But
and be
this
ready
other
to
lady
correct her, because
Carol
often
Collins,
whatever mistake they make
Collins.
once, they'll make
Sophia
again.
lady in the
Good
NJC
girl,
race.
she didn't. Very
You've
nice.
probably seen her. She
Very
has all
nice.
the awards for the local rides.
I thought that was going to be one of her
Scrunchy
tricks.
one.
Pop her left
Yeah.
shoulder, but
She's
she didn't use it
really
again.
short white hair.
Then go back through
Anyway,
it the
she
other
got
way.
her hip replaced. One of them this last summer, and one of them 2 summers ago. And she was out walking around, having
Mhm.
the
It's
stalls.
supposed
She
to
wants
be
to
a
stop
very,
and talk to her person.
they've perfected that.
Yeah,
That's it.
It's
Walk
the
on, little
knees
woman.
that they can't do very well yet.
but she's having a good time. And I feel bad she misses Gershwin.
You can turn around and go walk over the poles the other direction.
She's seen her babies.
She's boarding in here now,
Yeah.
right?
That's
Because
good,
that's
girl.
what I remember talking to her about the last time I
Kind of
saw her.
nicely
Yeah.
forward.
She was keeping her horse here, and I was surprised because
Yeah.
she always had it somewhere.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and got the right arrangement that time.
Okay.
2 steps in each spot.
Well, Gomez, she helped me a lot with it. He was losing house when I first started riding him. Gomez, he's Holly's, but he's mine.
Right.
He's this little fat Morgan.
Now we're going to get Gina work too.
Oh yeah, Minnie is running.
You should be out there running that pony.
Yeah.
You just
She'll
want
let
to
the
see
help
Mom
do.
run?
She'll let the help do it.
Yeah.
Smart kid.
That's how I get my
Pony.
exercise.
Yeah.
You're going to get mom exercise
My
too.
car-
Thought you didn't want to run.
My cardio.
Yeah, Minnie's participating today. She's in summer, so she's.
Where's the indoor that we're supposed to be at tomorrow?
That is right down the
Down the
road.
road and then to the left. Right before you get to the
Maybe a minute
crossroads, it's on
down
the
the road.
left.
Okay.
Yeah, you turn right through the
It's a really nice
intersection,
ring.
first farm on the left.
Okay.
I've never been over there, but apparently it's nice.
I'm gonna have
We
to
went
ask
there.
her where we parked.
I think I went there. Like on a Friday night when I got here early and went and taught the lady a lesson and then worked here the rest of the week. It was very nice.
I'm excited.
Except we discovered yesterday she has no bathroom.
Oh boy.
So if you're stuck there for the day, that could be kind of strange.
Are you riding tomorrow too?
Yep, I have 3 lessons tomorrow.
You're doing Gomez too, aren't you?
Yep.
Get
He's
him.
only doing 1 a day. He's a little out of shape
He's
at
out
the
there?
moment.
Right
Out
front?
of shape.
Oh, out of shape.
Yes.
Good. Ouch, yes, you know, probably right front.
Yeah,
That's him.
yep, that's him. The typical.
And he's turned into a nice horse.
Oh yeah, he's been extremely lazy in the past couple of years.
Well, he says I'm a gentleman of leisure.
Yeah, he says fine, I'll behave.
He's very cute.
He's been really good lately.
Did anybody ever figure out what's up with his right front?
No. Well, the vet thinks like he has a weak suspensory. He never tore it, but occasionally he just kind of tweaks
Stretching
it.
it? Yeah. Well, he got a funny start too, because he was born right when Finn was born.
Yep.
So he kind of just ran wild, and then
He ran wild.
and then Kara started him, and I think didn't Pam work him too?
Pam worked him.
And he got some really erratic work when he was very young.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think he never got himself built up.
Yep.
I've had other young Morgans with suspensory issues too. Good girl.
So that Gomez is at your main squeeze.
So why don't you bring her
This
down
other one
here?
is a
Let's work on a
internal.
circle in this open spot.
Side job.
Yep.
Side gig.
Yeah, Gomez. I've been riding him for God 7 years.
Oh.
So he's a
I
good time.
teach a middle-aged Welsh pony, a beautiful British Welsh pony, and he was off for quite a while. We had him in Florida, trying to get him ready for the World Championship, and he's off. When I question he's off, he didn't pass the vet check at Live Oak. So can you work her where you stand in the middle and she works around you?
She will, but I will tell you, my brain is like not ambidextrous like that, so I struggle with long lining.
Okay.
I do too.
Well, good, then we'll work on you.
Oh my gosh, I feel like my brain gets fried.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, at least you got 2 different color lines,
Right, exactly.
so you know where your hands are.
Can you wait a minute, please?
She's trying to sneak home.
Wait.
Hey, Judy.
She's like, that's enough work for today.
Oh, she says, Pony's impatient.
Wait.
Let's go walk around the circle first. A long line of it walking. And your line can kind of hang down around her butt, because she may try to sneak out the door there. If it's really bad, I'll take over. So they sent this pony off to the big clinic in New Hampshire, and they did a whole workup on him. They didn't find anything. So people came home and said, he's not lame. I said, well, get him out. Let me see. He was lame. They said, but the vet says there's nothing wrong with him. I said, I don't care what the vet says, your pony's limping. Can you see it? They said, yeah. Well, then how can you have nothing wrong with him? Well, they couldn't find anything, so he must be okay. No, he's limping. The next time you go to vet check at an international competition, you're going to get spun again. So they did, and sure enough, they got spun again. So by the time they were done, the pony had a pretty bad reputation for soundness, and there's nothing wrong with it.
And the
Except there
vet
is.
clinic had a pretty bad reputation.
Yeah, I mean,
for
and I know the guy.
diagnostics.
I said, Mike, what on earth are you doing? He said, I couldn't find the reason. I said, would you agree he's off? He said, oh yeah, he's off.
Oh, they just misunderstood.
He just couldn't find the answer. So trot trot. Trot trot. Ah, that's a good girl. I want her to just kind of go round and round and round. You don't have to
That
really
was so
steer.
cute.
Just pretend you're lunging her off the inside rein and let the line go around her butt on the outside. Trot, trot.
I want her.
I think she needs to work a little bit, don't you?
Yeah.
She needs to work more than Mum needs to trot. Trot, trot.
Fix that line? You want me to fix it?
No, thank you.
Can you get your outside line to go around her butt? Because that way you have her in a trap.
Trying to fix this.
Ooh. Just kind of flick it over her butt. Because otherwise it's going to pull the surcingle around. Ooh.
Should I help?
Yeah,
Where
be
my
fine.
brain evolved into madness.
There you go. The surcingle doesn't have enough fit to it to stay on her. So you got to be able to let that rein kind of dangle and just work off the inside one like you're lunging.
Okay.
Don't try to drive her on. I don't try to drive with both reins. I basically lunge with one rein, and like if people have lead problems, I can use this arrangement to fix it because I can bring the haunches in with the outside line, and she's not loving it, which is something I need to know about her. I can bring the haunches in with the outside line and get them to strike up. Particularly racehorses, to get the right lead, they're like, no, I don't do that. But with the rein on the outside, I can pull the haunches in to get a canter apart. Okay, now try trot.
Trot,
Trot, trot.
trot.
Sunset.
No.
Trot.
Now that you have this line on my butt, I'm not going.
Come on.
Trot, trot.
Thank you.
That's it. You just kind of work your inside line. Leave the other one a little bit soft so she doesn't say, listen, lady, what are you doing? There we go. Good. Good. Your elbow works. Yep. Don't get run over.
Doesn't move.
Trot, trot. You know, before I would drive it, I want to be able to go round and round and round and round the long lines. And do working trot and slow trot and halt and walk and all that. Just like you would if you were lunging. Yeah, she says that line on my butt kind of bothers me, but that's good. Because that's how we desensitize them. Trot, trot. You notice who she always stops at?
Yeah, she sees the people. Get going.
So I'm going to stop at the kid. I like her. Trot, trot. That's a good girl. She says, I don't want to do a real day's work. There we go. I think she a little bit has the idea if she canters, you'll give up.
Yeah.
That's it. Keep going.
Trot, trot.
She wants to canter all day. That's her problem. It's not my body. Trot, trot. Good girl. That's why you normally do this with a lunge whip.
Do you want this other one?
Yeah, there's a
Tina?
long whip here.
Oh boy,
So
another
there's a
line.
regular lunge whip.
No.
Do you want this one?
Another long line.
So that you can chase her with. If she keeps going, I don't care which whip you use. Good girl. Trot, trot. The advantage of the line around her butt is it keeps your saddle straight, too.
Keep going.
Because that's not really a saddle, it's just a little strap. Good girl. This way you can actually put some real work on her. You can put ground poles down like the spokes of a wheel and do ground poles with her. And if she doesn't have a lot of muscle on her butt.
No, she doesn't.
No, she needs to build up muscle. And older ponies, a little hard to add muscle to.
She also hasn't been doing anything.
That's a good girl. You look like you're long lining fine. Once you can forget about the outside rein, it's easy. Good. Keep going. She can't believe this is happening to her. You can actually do a lot of schooling on long lines.
She's so cute.
Good girl. Keep going.
I always have ground poles set up at my house. And they long line ground poles, they lunge ground
going.
poles.
Do you want anything else set up in here?
Well, I'll change it. I'll change it during the week.
Okay.
My front yard right between the house and the barn is a perfect 20-meter
I know
circle.
you have a lot to say.
So
Trot,
no
trot.
matter what the weather does, that's plowed and ready to use. Good girl. Trot, trot.
Good girl.
Hannah will beat you with a big stick.
Oh yeah.
You're right. She doesn't seem worried by it at all.
No.
Not necessarily terribly obedient, but not naughty.
Well, she hasn't done much. Before
So
I got
let her walk a sec.
Before
You still got to stay on the circle, Bridget. Come on.
Keep going.
You can't talk to your kid.
She's like, save me, Tessa.
Come on.
Oh, well, I guess. Go on. Go on. Then to turn her around, take up on your light blue rein. Just keep pulling, and let the other one slide out. There you go, and bring her around. There you go, good. Don't let her sneak back to the barn.
Come on.
Leave the rein down behind her butt. There, good. That also helps prevent her from sneaking away. Get up, you.
Oh, you're such a snack. Keep going.
Says, I'm being as difficult as I can. There, good job. That's a good example of why we want them to learn forward from the beginning. Good girl. My long lines actually snap together, which you could get caught up in, but you can also slide around on it. Because one of yours is obviously shorter than the other.
Yes.
She can walk a second, we'll go back to trotting. So if I were trying to turn her around, I probably wouldn't do it right here, even though I had you do it here.
Right.
Because the barn is too much temptation.
See you later.
You know, if you're going to drive her, I think probably it makes sense to go through
See you later.
kind of all the steps of starting a horse. Like you do this and you've done the tire.
Yeah.
So we don't use a tire because I don't like them flapping around with a tire on them, but you did it and it's good. So then I have a pair of shafts that look like they came off a carriage, but they didn't. We built them just for them to drag around.
Uh-huh.
2 shafts and a board and a circle bar so it doesn't rack, and then you hook them right in like a carriage and work around the circle like that and ground drive. Then we go to a little wire wheel jog bike, which we can get in. But I think it's good to test every step, you know, with somebody around to help, and preferably not in this big and open a space. Although she's being good about the open space. We do it in a big dressage ring with a high fence around it. That's a good girl. But she can go back to trot.
Trot. Trot.
One sec, you with us? I don't know, there I go. And then once they can work on the long lines with the jog bike on, then my husband gets in and drives them. But you notice she's already not making faces about the long line behind her butt anymore. She's like, all right, I'll put up with it.
That's a very smart pony.
She is
This way you can put a lot of miles on her without you having to run. And when you want to talk to her face, if you kind of ask with little tugs instead of just hanging on her.
Okay.
Because if you hang on them, it just bend sideways and go somewhere. So you take it, you know, take little tugs. They'll usually answer it. She doesn't look like she's used to having to trot this much. But you want to get enough base of work on her so she's not balky about driving.
Good girl.
So they don't imagine she's done much other work recently.
No. Just this.
These little pony mares, they get to be smart old things. Good girl. Trot, trot.
Come on. Get going. Good girl.
I think she's figured out how long your whip is not.
Yes, I know. She has already done that geometry.
She says, you're no threat. But you notice Hannah can crack
Look
a whip.
at Hannah moves. She's like, meh.
Oh, she says, I didn't want to go there anyway. You know, when you were there, she didn't question it. As soon as you left, she's like, I'm out of here.
Very smart.
Too smart.
Little smarty pants you are. Good girl. Trot, trot. Trot, trot. That's a good girl. Oh, my goodness.
No, I can't.
So when you attach her to the tire, did you have a breast collar?
No.
How'd you attach her?
I just attached it to the surcingle, like with bail.
Oh, to the surcingle and she pulled it?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Got you.
It was a little redneck, but it worked.
You couldn't drive her a whole lot in something like the surcingle because it doesn't fit her back at all.
Right.
And they need their saddle fitted like a riding saddle with good spine clearance because your shafts are going to weigh on it. That's a good pony. Very good. You know, if you work at it, you can be able to do working trot, slow trot, trot, halt, halt, trot. Trot, trot. Good girl.
Oh my goodness.
And all of this work helps with her willingness,
Come on.
which is so-so right now. The evil woman on the whip.
Do you see any right
Yeah,
front?
naughty pony.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, smart
I was just
pony.
wondering if she said she can't have grass, so I'm wondering if she
Thank
had
you.
some,
That's what I'm thinking.
yeah,
Maybe.
some
Keep going.
issues.
She's like, oh,
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't police.
No, and I think that's why she was cantering when we started.
Yeah, maybe.
When they want to go
It
uneven
looks
getting.
worse on this little
Yeah,
downhill.
like
She
when you,
puts
it's a
more
little bit of
weight on it.
downhill and on a turn. You
Yeah.
see it. I never trust the feet of old ponies.
Wow.
Right there.
This pony doesn't need to be a husband.
Let's give her a little walk break. Good girl. Walk.
Not here.
Very good. She was eyeing Hannah's spot, and she can have a walk.
Girl.
Good girl. I don't know how fit she is. I don't want to run her to death. You said she can't have grass?
No,
Yeah.
not at all. She has to wear a muzzle.
One of
I have
those,
to
huh?
Monitor her.
Her weight looks really good, but the little ponies love to get fat and founder.
Oh my goodness.
That's the other thing about long lining is you can see how they're moving. Every once in a while, on the downhill dip here, she does a couple funky steps on the right front.
Come on.
But
Well,
if you
her
look at
legs
the
are
way
a
the
little
right
crooked.
front is put on her, it's put on like that, so the whole thing torques when she moves.
Her legs are a little crooked.
It certainly is.
She's not the greatest form.
I certainly
but-
wouldn't buy her, but I'd use her if you had her available.
Yeah. Exactly.
Coming down that little dip and turning right, you see funny things. So if you were thinking about a carriage for her, the shafts on a carriage come forward to the point of the shoulder,
Uh huh.
and then they go back behind the horse. And if you want to be technical, there's supposed to be 40 centimeters between the backmost part of the horse and the frontmost part of the carriage.
Okay.
And some people travel with less space than that, but that's what's legal for FEI.
Okay.
And it gives the horse plenty of room to work. So that's how I'd figure my shaft length. And you want the carriage of a height such that when the shafts are in the tugs, which is the loops they fit in, the point of the shaft is up at the right above the point of the shoulder. And ideally, you want to be sitting up high enough so you're not looking upper backside.
Okay.
So you need a certain shaft length and a certain height that the wheels create. You can take a stop and let her rest. Whoop. Whoop. Whoop.
She's going right to Tesla.
I don't know if there's somebody around here that can work on the rest of her training.
Well,
I
there's
don't-
a few people.
I don't think she's real complicated.
There's Jessica Axelson.
Oh yeah, I know Jessica.
She's down in
Yeah.
Cape May.
Down where land ends.
Yeah. Holly said that she would also help a bit.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, Holly did. We trained. What's his name?
Hans.
Her two big boys. We trained both of them to
Oh,
drive.
Duncan and Hans.
And we do it very systematically, step by step. We do the drag shafts and we do the jog bike.
What are you doing?
And they both drove well. Because I think it's not something you can do by yourself.
No, I don't know.
Because
no.
you don't know, and you need at least a couple people.
Yeah.
She does long line pleasantly. She does ground drive pleasantly. I think you can kind of ground drive her through, over, under, around anything.
Yeah.
So she needs somebody to help get her hitch and mileage.
So the next step from.
The next step from here, we would attach her to the drag shafts.
Okay.
How long would you long line before you even bothered with that?
As long as they walk, trot, and whoa, and turn and
Then you
stand.
just start.
Yeah, and actually, in my ideal, we break them to ride first.
Oh.
The reason we break them to ride first is because, like Casey's horse Java, anything they have that they're going to show you, like it's bucking sprees, they'll show you under saddle. I'd much rather get it under saddle with one of my monkeys on it
Right.
than with a carriage attached, so they scare themselves.
Right.
So if they're old enough or big, like she's old enough, but she's not big enough. If they're old enough and big enough, we break them to ride first. Like we'll spend a month long lining, getting them back and get them riding, get them walk, trot, ground poles, a little bit hacking out in the country, and then we go to hitching them.
Yeah.
But in her case, I would get a harness that fits. So you have other tugs to put your shafts in and stuff, and I get her going with the drag shafts. Then with the jog bike, which is like what the race horses use, little wire wheels, just kind of a little frame.
Oh yeah.
It's not a big heavy thing. And then when they work in that, in the ring and out in the fields and stuff, then we switch to a regular carriage.
Okay.
But I have the advantage that my husband does it for a living, and he's driven a lot of bad things.
Yeah.
And he's a very, very calm, persistent, systematic person,
Right.
and nothing gets hitched till he's ready.
Okay.
He's got one right now that he's had for a month. It's a Gotland, and it was broke to ride by friends of ours. They said it was dirt easy. It was a piece of cake. They did it in 1 month. But then the people took it home and they've ridden it however it pleased,
Yeah.
like it was being barn ratty. And they said, oh, every time we start out of the yard, it turns and runs back for the barn.
Oh.
I said, you want to drive that? Oh, we never thought of that. So now he's gotten through that with it. He says, and he has a hitch to the jog bike, and he said, now it's ready for me to start driving it.
Okay.
But then to go to these people who are very amateur, it needs 3 months of driving.
Right.
Because when they ride it, they don't make it behave. It came with a beautiful canter, but they never cantered it.
Oh.
It came with a beautiful brake job, but they didn't reinforce it.
Right.
So she needs somebody that can jog her a while and just kind of see what she thinks so that you guys don't get surprised and show you how to drive.
Right.
Because it looks easy. When people drive, we sit very quietly. You don't see much happening.
That's because it's good. That's not when if you run into a problem.
Yeah, it's exactly. There's a gal that has 2 horses at my barn, a Dutch harness horse and a Welsh Arab, and I don't think she's ever awake when she's driving them. I was teaching the other day, and the Welsh pony, I could see him, he was getting bumped in the mouth, kind of like your outside rain this morning.
Uh-huh.
He's getting bumped in the mouth every stride, and
Stand.
you know he's feeling it because his lips are going, nyeh, nyeh, nyeh. I said, Carrie, can you feel that his lips are being pulled back and he's yapping at you? She said, no, I don't feel anything. And I'm
Wow.
seeing his tongue because he's doing that with his mouth because it hurts. She said, I don't feel anything.
Wow.
And I could see him moving her hand, but she couldn't feel it.
My.
There's a certain aware, but you ride well, so you'll have the awareness for it. Particularly since she's a little bit run off when you ride her, I think it's important to get somebody driving that knows how.
Well, if it were me riding her,
She'd have stopped.
she wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But it was her who's
And
a little
they
kid.
do
And
that.
she
That's
knew what she could get
I
away
worry
with.
about little ones driving for that reason.
Right.
Until I know the ponies had the. Oh,
Cute. I want it so
I,
bad.
I
Oh my
love
God!
that.
Look at him.
This is Hildy.
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 Have I met Hildy before?
You have not. This is a friend of mine from Saddlebrook down the road.
I love fjords.
I have met other fjords named Hildy,
Really?
but not that one. I don't
Oh
think.
my god.
No.
Yeah, that
There was
makes sense.
supposed
It
to
would
be
be
a
a
second
couple
one
here
all
today.
named Hildy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
It was supposed
Yeah,
to be
Hildy and Elke.
Shorty.
I love them. I'm a big fjord fan.
I love fjords.
Donna.
Hey, nice to meet you. Thanks for having us. Thank you. Good girl.
She's also a really attractive fjord.
Oh, thanks. I think so too, but I'm
She's very athletic and nice.
Yeah.
I'm also a fjord sucker.
Oh, okay.
We've trained
she's
millions
funny.
of fjords and I love them.
Recognize that.
So yeah, I think that would be your next step is get somebody to do the next phases and maybe include you in it.
Okay.
But yeah, she's
Like, if you were near us, I'd say come.
Yeah.
You can watch and help, but we're a little too far away.
Where in Vermont are you?
We're in Vermont, right near Green Mountain Horse Association.
Oh, my mother-in-law lives in Orwell.
That's a ways away. We're 8 miles from New Hampshire border.
Oh, okay.
I'm East Central.
Yeah, she's closer to Fort Ticonderoga.
She's up by the lake.
Yeah, Lake Champlain.
I love it up there. It's flat.
That's where I get my hay from.
But I think she just needs to go through all the steps. She seems cooperative.
Thank you.
She's done everything we asked of her today.
Yeah.
And trotted enough. I wouldn't want to make her trot too much more right now.
Right.
Because she needs some, and I assume she's old and a little bit cushingy.
Yeah, she's
And-
like in her 20s.
Yeah, and then that doesn't help build muscle.
Yeah, she needs some long, slow
Yeah.
work. But we could do this part over the winter and
Yes.
try to find someone that
Yeah.
has
I
the
think that makes sense.
appropriate next,
Yeah.
Steps or whatever.
Yeah. Unfortunately, unless somebody has a small harness, you'll have to get a harness to do it.
I know. Yeah, she can easily.
There's a girl that plays field that's in New Jersey. And this is what she prefers because they run pretty well. As do-
She knows she's not supposed to eat grass.
She knows.
Although she was trying to, she didn't. I knew.
Any chance she gets, she's very smart.
Yeah, I could tell that.
She has a plain one too.
She's a very
We did
cute,
it
smart
in the
face.
show
She's a
couple
very
weeks
good
ago.
girl.
So you have her, and you have
An acorn.
an acorn.
And then I have a retired thoroughbred and 4 goats.
That's an interesting group.
Yeah.
And
She's just a nice
nine
Well,
chickens.
and 9 chickens, but
And then she
you can
also
tell
wanted
I love
to race, so she
Welshes.
wanted
Welsh
to join
crosses,
with
they're
me.
my
She
absolute
wanted to
favorite.
run with
Is Acorn a registered Welsh cross?
No, because someone lost his papers. So he was registered half Welsh, and
I'm always interested in who bred him and which Welsh they
me
are.
too. And someone lost his papers along the way, so I don't know.
How can you lose
I
papers?
know, stupid,
You're retarded.
stupid. But they are my favorite.
Actually, my dog, we were given an old Morgan a year ago, October, and my puppies ate his papers.
Oh my God.
So we did lose them.
Oh, that's awful.
However, we got a new copy. But I came in one day,
Yeah.
and there was just scattered sort of parchmenty looking stuff on the ground, and I thought, then I looked where the papers had been, and they were gone.
Yeah, they're my favorite. I just love the mix because you get the athleticism from the thoroughbred,
And you get
but
the
you
neat
get
toughness.
the hardiness also from the Welsh.
And he's a nice mover, and he carries himself. He's really cute.
He's a good boy, but like I said, it's been a long road with him. He was not.
Somebody didn't do right by him.
No.
Don't wrap that around your hand, because if she pulls, it'll tighten.
Pone.
Sunset.
She says, let me see what they got that I need.
just a release.
You don't need to be
And you always carry it looped like that so it won't wrap around your hand.
My child just wants to do like trucks.
I think she's right ready to carry on with.
Yeah.
But you can do that over the winter and work the circle part, because that's where you'll get the most condition on her.
Yeah. And I think I'm gonna see if I can track down like the drag shaft, see if Holly can help me with that.
Yeah.
And then she could probably help me do that part.
Some of you use PVC pipes. I don't love them because they rattle. Mine are wooden, and they're what we call turn heel. They come down, and then they arc down, so they travel a little bit high enough so the horse doesn't get a leg over it.
Right.
And then they have a board that's bolted across the back, and a board and a circle bar on the front so they don't rack.
Right.
And they can drag them all over the place, walk, trot, and canter, and
Okay.
bang over round poles. They do whatever you want to do.
Okay.
And they make noise, and they provide resistance, and they pretty much give them all the experience they need.
Okay.
Pony.
Isn't that cute?
What's your pony's name?
It's
What's her
Sunset.
name?
Sunset.
Sunset.
Sunset?
Well, Sunset's adorable, and I want to steal her.
Let's stick her in the stall. We'll go get something inside, and then we'll come watch this awesome fjord go because I love them.
Make sure that fjord stands still.